Education warriors, reading, writing, and arithmetic. We're going to go back to the basics. I've been giving this a lot of thought. I spoke this past Saturday, a couple of days ago, with Officer Dave Gomez. I want all of you to find this interview with Officer Gomez. He is a school resource officer. Go to Twitter, go to Facebook, go to our SoundCloud channel, go to our YouTube channel. It is there. Well, it's not on YouTube. It's on SoundCloud, Facebook, and Twitter. With Officer Dave Gomez. He is truly boots on the ground. He is there with the kids in Idaho. He worked in engineering, he was explaining to me. And after 15 years in that, he always had a passion about wanting to become a police officer. And we call that a calling. Just like I never set out to, be the founder of a nonprofit, wanting to work with victims, survivors, educate about human trafficking, but it chose me. The mission chose me. The mission chose him. And so I talked to him about, let's really find out what's happening in our schools. Now, he's in Idaho. His information is solid. So he became a police officer, and he loves working with children, and he has worked as a school resource officer in middle school, and he's now in a high school with 2,300 students. And it's an honor because Officer Gomez will also be joining the Lynn's Warriors Advisory Council, and we need our law enforcement partners. But I'll leave that for another program. So I just wanted Officer Gomez to talk. Now, here's the thing. I could sit here for hours and rattle off all the studies about our children. Our children are suffering greatly. I always tell you this, and I think you know this by now. K through 12. Our children are subpar for the most part, educationally wise, math, reading. Our children are, for the most part, addicted to their screens. They are addicted to being online. Why Officer Gomez pointed out, he knows kids up to 16 hours a day online. The average, we have all these different studies, the average said kids spend 11, 12 hours a day online. But he was saying, it's really hard to get them to focus on reading, writing, and arithmetic when they come from broken homes, when they come from, parents addicted to meth, when they come from they're in charge of their younger siblings, when they come from there is no money to buy a backpack. And the school steps in to fill this need of providing for the kids. Could be socks, what the kids need. Of course, food, what the kids need. I can't tell you the anger I have that our country, the United States of America, is taking care of all these other people, and we're not taking care of our own children. And when I talk about children, I also want to include the children coming over the border. They are children. And we know the government admits to losing 85,000 of them, so it's probably much more than that. But we know, I urge all of you to also go to my Facebook, Twitter. I posted an article from the New York Times, but it's very well done, talking about the migrant children, what they're enduring. So the government's lost what they claim at 85,000. Just like that, nobody's talking about it. And those that are profiled in this article are trying, some of them, to go to school and then rushing out 12, 13, 14, 15 years old to their shifts, some 12-hour shifts in meatpacking plants, car plants, working dangerous jobs with wood and song. And we've got the kids packing Cheerios. And this is just shocking. This is just shocking. We have labor laws for children. So America is failing children from all over on every level, while the government talks about, let everybody come here. These poor people think the streets are paved with gold, because I've heard that story more than once. And you've got kids that we're allowing to work in these plants. And then we have our kids that now are in their classrooms with these kids. They don't know what's going on. Everybody's overwhelmed. And Officer Gomez was sharing with me that, he builds trust on the ground, but it is really time to parent up, as we're calling it, caregiver up, whatever your family unit is. and take care of these kids. Now, a lot of kids, from what Officer Gomez describes, are from these broken homes. There's nobody caring about them. How about kids? He was talking about that couch surf. They don't even have a permanent home. We, as a society, have to. It is our duty to step in and help in any way possible. And I don't care if that means you bought an extra snack for your child to bring to school for another child, or if you, buy a pair of socks, or he was talking about his school has, kind of, they get together, everybody, and take up collections. And I know a lot of schools doing that as well to give out to the students that are less fortunate. But my goodness, if a child is trying to be in school under these circumstances and trying to learn, it is up to us to help and empower them. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart that studies show 1 in 5 children, and that study's old already, go to bed hungry every night in America. It's probably 1 in 4, 1 in 3 by now. Education. We have to. The kids are failing on every level. Officer Gomez pointed out in his school, they checked the cell phones. No phones allowed during the school hours. And he said the grades have significantly improved, and also the social interactions, because they're forced to interact with each other and the teachers and the staff. And that is a push we are doing at the Warriors. We need no cell phones in schools. But also, it's up to each and every one of us. You've got to talk to your kids. I tell you this all the time. You have to do a couple of things, and you have to start, and you have to remember the kids are watching us. And even if you don't think they're watching us, they are watching us. And if they're watching moms and dads dance on TikTok all the time, or just shoo them away because they're busy on their phones, studies show 68% of parents admit to using the phone as, 85% of parents admit to using the phone as a babysitting device, and 68% of parents admit to not knowing anything their kids are doing online. That's where the vulnerabilities set in. The kids are looking for attention. They spend more and more time online. It's an addiction. We have studies that tell us that. That's where they meet the predators. Right now, the predators are winning. The predators are destroying. They're claiming our children. It's time for us to reclaim our children. So, you can say whatever you want about China, and there's a lot to say, but I really admire them because of the way they empower their children. 40 minutes a day on TikTok, full of just science and math and health and fitness and the history of their country. And also, you have to excuse me, I just came off of a long Zoom meeting that was also PowerPoint presentation. It was very involved and technical. So the mind's going. But again, China doesn't allow their children, on TikTok like we allow. And it's so disgusting that it was brought to my attention yesterday. There's a new TikTok challenge that kids are doing in America, where you flash your chest and post it online. Start talking to your kids, start parenting up, start powering up. I don't care what it takes. And keep an eye, whatever you can do for those kids who have nobody, we have to step in. We have to do something because our government is doing nothing. Our education system is in tatters, as you know. Now, that being said, I think there's always hope. We do know that many kids transition to 30% approximately transition to homeschooling during the pandemic, the last few years. And I'm just writing about it this evening for our newsletter that'll be going out a couple of days, Wednesday morning. It's Monday night right now. That about 30% stayed very strong, have remained in homeschooling. We know over 1 million children have left the public school system. We know there are loads of kids unaccounted for. Nobody's looking for them. So you see all of this. We know we have charter schools, school choice. That is something I am urging everybody to start looking into in your state. Let your taxes that you pay allow you, that's your money, to pick where you want your child to go to school. That could be a charter school, that could be a private school, that could be a learning pod, whatever the case may be. The charter schools are cleaning up in New York City. 23 out of 25 top performing schools right now in New York City are charter schools, and the costs are one half for this success. that the student would cost in the public school system. So I think you know where I'm going with all of this, warriors, but we got to start really stepping in. I'm going to really be talking about this because we're going out now on our work with our warrior workshops, talking to parents and grandparents and concerned citizens. The kids need us. The kids are watching us. Enough of this. Reclaim your children. Limit screen time. I'm telling you, they like it. After the initial week or two of I'm bored, the screaming, the crying, they get used to it and they like it. You got to interact. Put down your own phones. Limit screen time. Limit who the friends are on their devices. Again, especially with the young kids, you're the parent. Step up. Make sure it's their actual friends or family members, no strangers. You got to limit that. No Wi-Fi devices, nothing in the bedrooms. Not only do things happen behind closed doors, the kids are losing their sleep. They're so tired, okay? We know we have these studies. How about over 60% of teen girls are admitting they're severely, severely depressed, 29% of boys. The girls are suffering almost double, more than double the boys. And 1 in 3 have actively in the last year talked about suicide. Unacceptable. And how about just communicating with the kids an extra 10 minutes a day? Please start. No devices at the kitchen table, the dining table, whatever. In the car, put the devices down. Just talk while you're driving. Start these simple steps. Start getting off of TikTok. It is a criminal enterprise. I've been shouting it from the highest rooftops since 2016 when it was introduced into this country. And I've had people fight me saying, don't you understand? How come the Warriors isn't on TikTok? Because it's a criminal enterprise. Because I don't know what China's doing with our information. Because it's China. Because they don't allow their children on TikTok. So why the heck would I be on TikTok promoting their app? That is criminal to our kids. Between the challenges we've had, there's a teacher challenge. I think it was called the slap a teacher. You're supposed to go to your school and like slap your teacher across the face. They're trying anything and kids are doing it. Chinese kids aren't doing it though. So get off his TikTok, put it down, adults and kids alike. Snapchat, criminal enterprise. You can buy drugs with 2 clicks. Instant messaging, the worst thing. Predators are there and the kids are looking for attention. The kids are vulnerable. Warriors, you have all these facts. Sign up for our newsletter, please. LynnsWarriors.org. Scroll down. E-newsletter on the right side. Goes out weekly. Start really listening. I'm preaching as hard and as fast as I can, 24/7. Our kids' education, start stressing how they have to read more, write more. We know that kids that are actually writing more, okay, and getting into the swing of that, it's very much like therapy for them. So let your kids, keep a journal. Let them start writing. Keep a journal let them, little kids, bigger kids too, even drawing pictures, right? Remember a couple of years back, could have been 10 years ago, I don't remember now, where they had adult coloring books. It was a form of therapy. So get back to it. Get back to using your hands. Get back to using your minds. The children are suffering greatly. We can't go on. Our future adults, our future leaders, we are supposed to be the United States of America. So let us unite, warriors. Let us engage, educate, and empower our children. Be part of their school. Know their curriculum. Talk to them about what they are learning. Get to know their teachers. You got to make the extra effort. Roll up those sleeves, a little extra, elbow grease. You got to join the school boards. You got to attend. Teachers tell me all the time, maybe 20% of the parents or caregivers engage in the parent-teacher conferences, which, by the way, are down to like 5 or 10 minutes anyway. There's a lack of everything going on. Think about the kids. Think about them. Think about what they're going through. Put yourselves in their shoes. We're the adults. We lead by example. Remember all of this. Start in your own home. Community creates change. Join me as we tell you as much information as we can tell you to help you. And lots of free resources. You got a lot of good ones. Always go to LynnsWarriors.org, ProtectYoungEyes.com, DefendYoungMinds.com, Nurses United Against Human Trafficking for healthcare information, and always bark.us. You've got Gab Wireless. Give your child, kids don't want to be left out, give your child a phone, the younger ones. that only have your number on it. No internet, no, none of this texting stuff, just so they can feel like part of it. There's so much stuff you can do. Start doing it. And remember, it's up to all of us, each and every day. Be a warrior.